that's needed in the Tottenham team today, though. It's the one that beat Arsenal 1-0 in the Football League Cup last Tuesday with a goal by Osvaldo Ardiles. But there's no doubt who's made most impact lately with his goal-scoring efforts. It's the Scotsman Steve Archibald, who is the top scorer at Tottenham this season with 9, including 4 in the last 3 games. Goal scoring has been something of a problem for Wolves. They've scored only 16 in 18 games this season, and with Andy Gray still missing, they might have a problem again today. They're also without defenders Jeff Palmer, suspended, and Derek Clark in a broken toe. Emlyn Hughes is out, Willie Carr is the sub. But at least all this gives a first chance for 19-year-old defender Mick Holyfield, who joined the club 3 years ago and has been playing well in the reserves. And here's Rafael Villazan. He's from Uruguay, and with Ardiles and Villa of Argentina also on the field, well, at least he should feel pretty much at home today. The referee today, it's Mike Taylor from Deal in Kent. So it's Spurs then who get us away, attacking the goal to our right in white shirts and black shorts. Wolves today in a all strip of all old gold. Villazan getting up well there. Peter Daniel for them. Wolves who've yet to win away from home. In fact, their travelling record has been pretty poor. They've only had 2 draws to show for all their visits this season. Spurs unbeaten here this season at White Hart Lane, and lying 9th in the table to Wolves 16th. So Mel Eves on the break for Wolves. Here's Mick Holyfield, a genuine left-footed fullback, having a tussle there with Steve Archibald, and a free kick to Tottenham. Well, it was a victory for Tottenham on Tuesday night, where Osvaldo Ardiles scored, but I think most Tottenham fans would agree that Barry Daines had a magnificent game that night in goal for Tottenham. The referee slightly impeded Villazan there. Clark. Holyfield. And it'll be Miller getting that one away with a head. Perryman helping it on its way. Brazier, well, he had a go at that, but it came instead to Archibald, and the chase is on. Brazier's after him. Can Archibald keep it going? He might be able to. No, in the end, Brazier's attention were just a little too fierce for him. But a good run from deep there by the Scotsman, and a good chase back to by Colin Brazier. And it really looked as though Archibald was on his way. It was a question of how long his nerve would hold with Brazier at him. It looked for a moment as though he got away there, but then Brazier just dug in there. Very long ball forward there, finding Richards, but that little knockdown is going to be picked up by Perryman. And now here's Houghton. Miller, the long ball forward. This time Brooks is onside. Hoddle's up there with him, and here's Brooks. This could be danger for Wolves. And a penalty given. Brooks brought down, and a penalty given. And I must say that Mike Taylor had not the slightest hesitation. Here he goes through now. And indeed a penalty quite justifiably given there. It was the Uruguayan Villazan who brought Brooks down. And a chance for Hoddle to give Tottenham a lead as we come towards the quarter hour. 1-0. Glenn Hoddle's 8th of the season. Sending Bradshaw the wrong way. So as you can see, with 13 and a half gone, Spurs 1, Wolves 0. And Glenn Hoddle the scorer from the spot. Aces header. Now Brooks. Ooh, a bit of space here away on the left, and Tottenham men are filling it well as Villa sends the full-back Houghton on his way. The cross coming in, and what a beauty there! Oh, and he put it wide, Archibald. What a goal that would have been! A tremendous break. And it was Villa and Houghton. There's Villa's pass there to Houghton. What a ball played in there by Chris Houghton. And Archibald made a connection. Bradshaw put him off enough, and it went wide. And the linesman flagging. Free kick to Wolves. Holyfield with it. Played him lower there towards Eaves. Can he get round Smith? No, he can't, but he gets a corner. So we're halfway through the first half. Wolves get a corner, a goal down. Hoddle's penalty after 13. Daniel's taking it, but big Colin Brazier, 6'1.5" of him, standing there at the near post. Might well be the main that he aims for. Indeed it was, for a little flick back, but Lacey was there. Knocked back in there. Goal! Atkinson for Wolverhampton Wanderers, which silences the Tottenham crowd. And all beginning with that corner, in fact, flicked on and then knocked out. And Atkinson turning it back in to make it 1-1. So Spurs, after looking as though they might well get the upper hand decisively in this game in the opening half hour, find themselves back at 1-1. And Hugh Atkinson, the scorer there for Wolves. Brazier long and high, but Lacey getting it away for Tottenham. Hoddle. Onside. A good decision by the linesman. Crooks well onside. Ardiles up supporting him. Crooks! What an amazing goal, because he ran half the length of the field before he beat Bradshaw. And Bradshaw must have wondered whether the pass inside was coming in for Ardiles, who'd made ground, and Archibald had made ground. It's Hoddle who gets Crooks on his way. As you can see, no more than 2 or 3 yards inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. And there's just that little bit of a gap there. Oh, and he puts it under the man. Puts it under Bradshaw. And that makes it Spurs 2, Wolves 1. Well, Garth Crooks notches up number 8 of the season. And that was a really fine individual effort. Noticeable that Wolves are warming up Willie Carr. They've looked dangerously short on experience, and Willie Carr can provide a lot of that. There's Houghton ducking in with a header. Here's Velia. Perryman. Played now for Ardiles. Smith. Vilazan getting it to Holyfield. Lacey turning it back again. Here's Daniel with a little touch there. Oh, and this kick. Crooks. And a save by Brazier. Oh, that was Atkinson's missed kick that very nearly allowed Garth Crooks in, and would have done but for a good save here by Paul Bradshaw. Lacey. Crooks. 10 minutes of the first half remaining. And a slip there by Mick Holyfield, which was unfortunate for him because the ball goes straight to Crooks. Terrific save by Bradshaw from Garth Crooks, who's really in the mood like the rest of the Tottenham side today. After Holyfield has slipped and given possession to Garth Crooks, let's look at this. And a lovely piece of keeping by Paul Bradshaw. So Spurs corner. Really on the rampage, Tottenham, but still only leading by 2-1. Here's Hoddle. Cross in there. Then beat them all with it. Beat Crooks. Oh, just across the face of that Wolves goal. And there were 4 Wolves defenders right on the line as that skidded from Garth Crooks, who's dynamite at the moment. Let's look at this again as Crooks. And just look at the Wolves players along that line, and it somehow stayed out. Hoddle. Perryman played back again for Hoddle, back again for Perryman. And, well, it was Perryman's tenacity that won that ball after it looked to have been lost. Smith. Hoddle again. Finding Villa. Oh! Well, that's his speciality. He had a blasting shot on Tuesday night against Arsenal that was disallowed, and that was another great shot with an economy of effort, it seemed, curling away from Bradshaw, grasping hands and just wide of the post. And there goes the half-time whistle, and there's no question that Wolves really have been on the receiving end for most of the first half, and there's no question too that John Barnwell, their manager, has got to go off to that dressing room and sort one or two things out. They looked so vulnerable in defence, and it was the penalty by Glenn Hoddle, the number 10, who got them on their way, and the number 8 going down there, Hugh Atkinson, who equalised for Wolves. And then, of course, Garth Crooks, number 11, going in there with that marvellous solo run that put Spurs 2-1 into the lead. The surprising thing is that they haven't stretched that lead to at least 3 or 4. So half-time score then here at White Hart Lane. It's Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolves 1. Well, there might be changes here at Tottenham on one side of the ground, but that famous old cockerel on the other, that will not be moved as we start now the second half. And Wolves waiting for the whistle from Mike Taylor, now attacking the goal to our left, and Willie Carr, the substitute, on, and I imagine that might be in place of Atkinson, and Spurs get that one away. But there he is, Willie Carr, challenging Steve Perryman there, with the object, no doubt, of adding a little bit of stability and experience to the midfield for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it's the Uruguayan Villazan who's gone off. It's a good ball by Hoddle for Ardiles, and it fell nicely for him, but in the end, Humphrey was across there. It's Wolves' throw. Lacey. Richards. From Hibbett. Clark. He's found Mellives. Good shot. And can somebody there finish it off? No, they can't for Wolves, and as well for Spurs that Chris Hughton was there. Mellives holding his head because that certainly looked an equaliser. Danes couldn't hold it, and Hughton whacked it away as two Wolves players came in. But a corner for Wolves. Good play by Chris Hughton. Peter Daniel with it. Floated again towards the near post, which is how their goal came in the first half, but this time Archibald finds Ricky Villa. That's a good ball. What vision there to see Gordon Smith on the far side, but not so good there from Smith himself, but he looked for Crooks. Daniel coming in there. Here's a chance maybe for Mellives again. Well, it wanted a little more curl on it, but that's twice now in the space of a little over a minute that Mellives has suddenly found himself with a bit of space there. Richards, what a very good turn by him, beating Miller, and Richards goes on until he's finally brought down by Perryman. That's a free kick. And it's going to be Hibbett. Quite a blast on him. Oops, that wasn't so far over either. Goal kick. Humphrey. Oh, and Humphrey losing out to Ricky Villiers. Crooks is up there with him. Archibald's making ground as well. Villiers going all the way. Oh! And in the end, it was pushed behind by Kenny Hibbert, who somehow got back there, with the goalkeeper beaten by Villiers' run and shot. Corner already taken, and over the top. Well, they took that corner pretty quickly. But we ought to look again at Villiers' run here. Taking them on, and then deciding he'll get the shot in. It's just, look, Kenny Hibbert just turned it away for the corner. Crooks. Oh, did well there, Humphrey. Under pressure from Crooks. Turned it here and found Daniel. The long ball here. And it could be a chance now for Richards. And he's made it 2-2. Oh, what an amazing sequence of events there. Wolves, having sorted themselves out at half-time, looked a much better bet in the second half so far. And when in the first half it looked as though they were totally out of it, now suddenly they've pulled it back to 2-2, which was the score here last year. Lacey couldn't quite reach this one, and it gave Richards that chance as Danes came out, and the ball just crossing the line there before John Lacey could get to it. Spurs 2, Wolves 2, 12 minutes of the second half gone, and John Richards has made it that score at 2-2. Now can Spurs find that third goal, or will the pendulum continue to swing Wolverhampton's way? It's an amazing transformation after that first half where Spurs dominated to such a degree that it was almost embarrassing. But they've sorted themselves out well, but here's Crooks on the run again for Tottenham, and Spurs with the throw. So relieved John Barnwell, and Richie Barker on the right, his assistant. Hasn't had much played down this right-hand side for him in this second half rather, as Hoddle. But equally, it's true that with this man Kenny Hibbert, oh, and he's played it back there for Crooks. And here's Archibald over the top. Well, I was about to say how much more formidable Wolves had looked in the back four since Hibbert had gone in there, and then he goes and does this. A ball played far too short there for Bradshaw. Crooks quite didn't get the touch to it, and Archibald, when he could, well, it was too firm a touch and was way over. Well, I was just, as I say, going to say that Hibbert had made a difference in that back four, and he very nearly made it 3-2 for Tottenham. Perryman, Ardiles. Still got the impression that this is a game that Spurs could win. But also that it might be a bit difficult than it was in the first half. Header, just wide. Nicked off the post, in fact. Ardiles holding off his man there. The flick to Hoddle, bringing it on to the left foot here. And I think it may just have clipped off the post. Villiers again. Carr beating him. Here's Lacey for Tottenham. Now Hoddle coming into the picture more and more now in the second half. Now trying to lift one over the wall. And Archibald is onside. Can he control it and find the shot? He can, but again it's foul. Great ball by Hoddle. Lifting it over the back four there. But Archibald just onside to run on. Withstand the challenge, but shoot just wide of the far post. Crazy, or rather Atkinson right in there, and it's through to Danes. Eves, Atkinson, Clark, Holyfield. He's running into trouble. Got himself out of it well, though. Now looks to send Richards on his way. Oh, he had 2 goes at it and couldn't get it properly at either attempt. And there was a real element of danger there for Tottenham, and no mistake. They're not too happy after all that first half dominance by Tottenham. And they're going to take Chris Hughton off. He's struggling so much after that injury a few moments ago. So Chris Hughton goes off, and Graham Roberts comes on. He came on as a substitute against Arsenal on Tuesday. He used to be with Weymouth. It's Perryman for Tottenham now. Crooks up ahead of him. Inside, supported on the far side by Archibald and by Ardiles. A lovely ball played in there by Crooks for Ardiles. And now for Perryman. Saved superbly. Archibald can't get in there. Holyfield got it away. Here's Hoddle now. Blasting it straight at the keeper. Well, a great bit of play there by Tottenham, by Crooks in the first place. What a ball that was here for Ardiles. And then he plays it back here for Perryman. Tracks it there at the keeper. Archibald couldn't get in there. Holyfield got it away. Hoddle again. Straight at Bradshaw. They're well into injury time. And no chance of Spurs making progress there. The ball's gone in for a throw to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And there's a final whistle, and it depends which way you look at it. I'm sure Keith Birkinshaw, the Spurs manager, says that's one we tossed away. And I'm sure John Barnwell, who was just behind him, thinks, well, that's one that we sorted ourselves out. Look at the broad, beaming smile there of John Barnwell. We sorted ourselves out at half-time, and my word, we had to fight and eventually got the point. He's giving a word of praise there to young John Humphrey. Indeed, Willie Carr in the midfield had such a tremendous influence on Wolves in that second half, as did Kenny Hibbett, apart from 1 or 2 of those back passes when he went into the back four. It was an altogether different proposition that Spurs faced in the second half, but they should have reaped a rich reward from their dominance in the first. So Hoddle and Crooks the scorers then for Tottenham, Atkinson and Richards for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and the final score then here at White Hart Lane. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolves 2.